Hi, this is Robert Kiyosaki, and you're listening to Capital Hacking. This is the most important thing you can listen to today.
He's the one.
I have a dream.
With great power comes great responsibility.
I could do this all day.
This is it. Don't get scared now.
They may take our lives, but they'll never take our freedom.
Cinderella's story out of nowhere.
It's in the hole. That the only thing we have to fear is fear itself.
Capital Hacking begins in 3, 2, 1.
Welcome back to the big show, John. We're here together again.
Yes, we are. We're back together like we never left, baby.
What a privilege. You just put together some incredible time with Frank Benton. I mean, I love the guy. I love that his middle name's Lee and all his work on social media, telling his powerful story. Can't wait to share it with the audience.
Yeah. Frank, it's an incredibly inspiring story. You know, grew up in the streets, got into some things that, he's probably shouldn't have gotten into. However, all of it led to such a success story. You guys are going to love this podcast.
Yep. There's so much mental, mindset changing from prison to prosperity is what I'm thinking the name of this show is. So I learned a lot from Frank as far as he said his whole idea of success. Well, actually, John teaches this so well in this show. He says, success is when preparation meets opportunity. And boy, is this the best story of any story we've ever heard to teach that. Then he talks about how to motivate his team. So if you're a business builder, if you're starting to hire staff, I think you need to learn from Frank. We all learned a lot about core values. I did not see that coming, Frank. I mean, talk about a master class on how to use core values to make your business bigger, better, and stronger. And then love the ideas he comes up with about adding value to his community and what his life's purpose is right now, which we're not going to steal the thunder. Can't wait for you to hear it in the show.
Let's go.
If Frank, the world famous Frank Benton is here. Thank you, John.
Yeah. Frank Lee Benton.
Thanks for having me, guys.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks for coming on. Can you give us, our listeners, a little background on who you are, Frank?
All right, so my name's Frank Lee Benton. I'm from Philadelphia, born and raised. I come from a household of, my mom had 8 siblings, 8 kids. I'm the oldest boy out of all the children. She had 6 and adopted my 2 nephews when they were young. So we grew up in Kensington section. If you guys are familiar, wasn't the best upbringing. My mom, waitress, welfare, worked the system. My real father was out of my life. My stepfather ended up killing himself when I was young. And then my mom was basically a single mom until she met my stepdad later on in life, probably about 20 years ago. So no guidance as a child, involved in like street activity, bad in school. I had good grades, but had behavior issues. I got diagnosed with ADHD and ADD as a kid, all type of medications, but no real guidance or even roadmap for my life until later down the road. I created that myself. Yeah, I was in and out of the streets, ended up getting shot when I was 20 years old.
Jeez.
Had to learn how to walk again. Yeah, had to learn how to walk again. I had a colostomy bag. I had to get like 7 surgeries. Then that didn't teach me my lesson. I was still involved in street activities, eating drugs, hard life every night, the stuff that comes with that. I ended up getting arrested a few times. The one time that I actually ended up going to prison, it was for 5.5 years. So I got locked up for attempted murder charge. I sat for 2 years fighting the case. I was arguing self-defense. The judge didn't want to hear self-defense, but she did drop the attempted murder charge to an aggravated assault. So I ended up getting sentenced to 5.5 years. I went to prison, and that's where I really started to do a deep dive to myself on my issues. It wasn't just that one thing that I did, that one incident that landed me in jail. It was the person I have become. Now, if you ask all my family and friends, they'll tell you I was always a great guy, always positive, always caring and helpful, but I ended up doing dumb shit as a kid and then into my early adulthood. I really noticed that I let other people influence me. I didn't have no guidance or direction. I didn't have no purpose for my life. So I just got into learning about myself, but then also learning about, things that I wanted to do when I came home, with business, with real estate, worked on my fitness. I learned how to work out. I learned, got my diploma in there, my OSHA. I just utilized that time to basically it was my college, right? I took advantage of every opportunity I had there, and I made a solid plan to start my own business and get into real estate when I came home. And it was so far-fetched. Like, now I'm living it, but it was so far-fetched then, and I'm telling everyone I changed, and I'm talking about all this stuff with finances and getting my credit up, and it's just like, yeah, that's good. We'll see you when you come home. And I could tell no one really believed me, but then, I had the opportunity in 2019 to come home on my minimum, and I had to show everybody. And it was first dealing with the temptation. So I was like, okay, no alcohol, no bars, no females, no drugs, no anything illegal. And, I was living below my means and not living my dream for the first year. It was building up my credit. It was building up my finances, right? I had to accumulate money to invest. So I was sacrificing a lot. And then in 2020, I started my business and I just took off from there. And then a year and a half after in the business, I bought my first house, and then I bought a building for my office, and then it was a fix and flip property, and then a rental property. It was just a snowball effect after that. And I'm just going to say it's a testament of doing the right thing and being patient, and then surround yourself with the right people. But thankfully, I'm here today, and I got the opportunity to meet John and then meet you, Josh, two great individuals. I'm living a purposeful life now, and I'm just trying to give back. I'm trying to tell people before it's too late and they end up in my situation, because I tell people all the time, I got shot. If that bullet was 2 inches another direction, I wouldn't be here right now. Or if my assault case was a stabbing, if that knife was 2 inches another direction, I couldn't be here right now. So, like, I really got lucky, and I'm not going to get any more opportunities. So I'm just trying to give people, the game, the advice, the guidance that I didn't have when I was younger. But that's everything in a nutshell, pretty much. Fast forward.
Yeah, I know what you're feeling at the bit. Yeah. That was amazing, by the way.
Thank
You're such an inspiration. And honestly, Frank, that's why I've been really excited to get you on Capital Hacking with Josh and I, because your story is profound. When you went to prison, by the way, for the listeners that aren't from Philadelphia, Kensington is a neighborhood in Philly, and it's a very rough one. So that, there's a lot of, directions young people can go, and they're usually not good in that neighborhood. When you went to prison, how did you stay disciplined to get the diploma, to do the reading, to do the research, and get yourself ready, right? Because success is when preparation meets opportunity. So it sounds like you were doing the preparation. How did you stay focused?
Yeah, that's a great question, because I tell people all the time, whatever you're looking for in prison, it's there still. The gamble and the drugs. The only thing is it's not females in there. And if you want to get in with the guards, you can. I just felt like I'm never going to get this much time again. I'm never going to get solitary confinement. I'm never going to get this much time to think, to read, to learn. So I said, like, when I come home, everything's 100 miles an hour. This is the time right now. And I just said, I'm not going to get this time. And I don't want this time again, but this is the time that I have to create and to build myself. And I just utilized it the best I could.
Hey, everybody, it's Robert Helms, host of the Real Estate Guys radio program. And when you're not listening to our show, make sure you're tuned to Capital Hacking. You're going to dig it.
That's, Frank, I don't know if you want to share a little more, but that's not normal, right? I mean, the fact that you made those good decisions in jail, in prison. So, I mean, if you wouldn't mind sharing, was there a moment where faith came into your life, or where a good mentor came into your life? Because that is a radical, hard, very rare, special use of that time, what you've done. And I love it.
Yeah, as I was fighting my case and sitting in the county for 2 years, I was like, I might have an opportunity to come home. I don't know if it's going to be in 20 years. They were talking about me getting 20 years for attempted murder. They were talking about me. Some people saying I might get self-defense and get out with time served. But when I got sentenced and I found out I had state time, I just made a promise to myself and then also to my family. I promise I'm going to utilize this time and I'm going to come home a different person. And when you go upstate, you find people with white collar crimes. Like, they were good individuals. They might have had a DUI and killed somebody, or they might have been doing something with money, right? They were smart, but they made a decision to do something crooked with money. So you could find people, and I was just taking bits and pieces from the people that were further ahead than me and more educated than me. And there's real estate investors in there. It's like you can find all types. Everyone commits crimes. It don't matter what your what your class is. So I just gravitated towards a couple people that were like-minded, and just really, I did have faith. I did pray every day. I promised God also that, if you get me out of here, I promise that you're not going to regret it, and I'm going to come out better and continue to strive even when I get out.
So I have one more question.
Okay. Go ahead. Hit it, Josh. Because I got a bunch. I'm ready to roll.
Yeah, I do too. I do too. So, John, you'll probably cover this. Frank, if you want to wait and answer this later, that's fine.
It's all right.
Today, when we get into your business today,
Yes.
I can't wait for you to explain it, but is your hiring process including people that got out of jail? And what is that all like? Maybe you got to talk a little more. I'll let John interrupt me because maybe you want to wait for my question.
Well, I was just going to take it back a little bit before that, Josh, because, what our listeners don't know, they're going to find out is that you run a very successful construction business. I think you're up to what, 30 employees, right?
Yeah, around that.
Okay. And how did you get financing? You said because it takes time to build your credit back up. Did you get private financing in the beginning? How did that work?
So I'll answer your question first, and then I'll get to Josh's question about employees. So no financing. I worked and saved all of my money for a year straight. I saved up like $40,000 to start my business. I was working 2 jobs. So I was working in the trades. I was working on painting and some renovation and restoration work. And that paycheck was saved. I said, I'm not touching this paycheck. Now, if I want to make my rent, food, gas, anything extra, then I worked the second job. And that was delivering for a hoagie place where I was making probably $600 a week in tips. So 6, 12, you got $2,400 for expenses. And then all my paychecks were getting saved. So the one was for my business. The one was for right now. That's how I saved up. And then when I started the business, I was working, my work ethic didn't change when I started the business. I was working day and night and every weekend because I worked 7 days a week before. I was used to working 7 days a week. So I was making good money off of jobs. I mean, there's some days I was making $2,000. I'm making $1,000. I'm making $2,500, $3,000 in a day by doing the work myself. And that was the same mindset. I'm saving this to invest in the real estate. So for the first 2.5 years, I was working every single day and saving. My first flip property was all cash. I had a partner, but we both put up, an equal amount of money, a couple $100,000 each. And that was my first flip property. And then I just started now more recently getting into finance and hard money and DSCR loans and everything like that after I put my credit and bought my first house and got my office out of the way. And for the employee question, you guys like to say we're the home of the second chances. I'm built off of a second chance. So I can't deny somebody that, I had a guy more recently, and to get off topic a little bit, but he did 15 years for a homicide, an accidental homicide. He did 15 years. He came here, a mutual friend said, hey, I know your story and how you build a great culture. I have a guy that wants to, come home and start working. So he started working here for about 6 months. And then he's doing like his own thing on stuff, very driven like me. I can see like jail really changed him, and he just wants to work. He's saving his money. So he came here, the nicest guy, professional with customers. I said, he's going to be a shining star here. 6 months down the line, he went to school for a barber when he was locked up. He got his barber license. That's what he wanted to pursue. He actually works in a Tough Nickel in Conshohocken, I think it's called. He's the male barber there.
My son Caleb goes there. He gets his haircut at Tough.
Yeah, that's Mike. Mike's my guy. Great guy. He did 15 years. It's just a testament. Like jail, your past isn't going to dictate where you're going. So he got a property maintenance company now, and he calls my phone every day for advice. And so he's doing the barber, and then he's doing the property maintenance, and it's getting to the point to where he's going to have to stop doing the barber because he's getting so busy with his property maintenance company. I'm happy for him, and that's just one story of many guys. Like, I got and with these guys, I kind of mentor them too because I didn't have the financial literacy of go to my credit, how to get a first time mortgage. Like I had realtors that come in and do first time home buyer seminars with my guys, getting their credit together, getting their driver's license. So it's not like you just come here and you work. I'm trying to put you in the right direction to live a life that like I didn't know was possible for myself, or I didn't know how to make it happen. So I try to just be open-minded when we get people with histories, and then also like just guide them in the right direction.
It's phenomenal what you're doing, Frank. I mean, honestly, I don't know of one construction company that does education for their employees on how to buy investment properties and, is constantly giving them way more than a quote unquote work environment. What areas of construction does your company specialize in?
So I have masonry background, and before I started the company, I was working for a painting company. So we started off as painting and drywall repair because it kind of comes with it. And then over the years, we kind of just grew into like, I'm obtaining these employees that have other gifts and talents like flooring or tile or wallpaper. And I'm like, customers are asking me, can you do this? Can you do this too? So now I kind of got a full interior renovation company where it's like half of the guys, it's easier to train them how to paint. So if you're coming with no skills and no experience, we're going to put you on the painting field and build you up. But then there's guys that are like 40 years old and they're just unhappy at their old workplace. They come here and now they have an opportunity to grow with us and also offer like other skills that we didn't have before. So yeah, we're doing pretty much interior renovations now. So I like to look at it as we have like interior, exterior painting. We have like kitchens and bathrooms, and then we have like a lot of restoration work with drywall repair, flooring, stuff from like after people get leaks or any type of like disasters happen. So we have like 3 different buckets of our company.
Well, I'll tell you what, Frank, and if it's okay to go now. So I want to dig in a little deeper on culture at at your business, and I want to talk to you a little bit about a few opportunities of working together. I'd like to work with you. So this could be a real dive, as we used to joke.
I had a feeling Josh was going to try and
Are you in?
I'm excited about you a lot, Frank. And so with your business, how far does your radius go? Let's talk about business. See if I can get you on a few jobs. How far can you travel, or is it just in the city?
No, so we do Philadelphia tri-state area. So we'll go to Delaware, we'll go to Bucks, Montgomery, we'll go to Jersey, the Shore, we work in Wildwood. So we probably do like about a 50-mile radius around Philadelphia.
All right. Well, that's cool. And you're open to some commercial work, or is it all residential in your world?
No, we do commercial work too. We worked in churches, we worked in restaurants, we do schools. We did a lot of.
All right, great. And you got tile work, and you got flooring guys, and you got painters, and you got drywallers. We got some business for you, brother. I got some business for you right now. All right. So now let's jump into building a company, Frank.
Okay.
So
I love it. This is my.
I'm going to steal from you. I'm going to steal the idea immediately because you're an influencer. You're teaching people like me the idea of helping our teammates buy their first house. I love that idea of having first-time homebuyer classes. You know what I say, Frank, and you feel free to say this to people too, because your point of bringing those realtors in is what's the fastest way to get a house is good credit, meaning you haven't damaged it yet, and a W-2 paycheck. Because as John knows as being an entrepreneur, it's so hard to buy a house if you don't have a W-2 paycheck. And I always say, you and I, Frank, are giving people W-2 paychecks. And it's like their golden ticket in Willy Wonka to buy that first FHA, first-time homebuyer house, is you need that W-2 paycheck. And I would love to remind my teammates, leverage that Willy Wonka golden ticket, baby. Go get it. Go get your first house. So we're going to steal that. Now, in the world of hiring gentlemen and ladies, perhaps, that have backgrounds, problematic backgrounds on paper, they might look at you as somebody giving them a hand up, or a foothold. Do they take advantage of you sometimes, Frank? And how do you overcome that? Because you might be open-minded to hiring them, but they may be a little bit, everybody's, it's common in every world. Kindness is often seen as weakness, but you don't come across as a weak guy. But tell me about how you manage that, where you're trying to be good to them, but at the same time, you're going to be tough on them too.
Hi, this is Melanie McCallan. Josh and I are just so grateful for the many investors who have already joined us at Accountable Equity. Accountable Equity is so much more than a capital group. It's really a community of accredited investors that want to learn and grow together. I just want to personally invite you, if you want to find out more about this type of investment and see if it's right for you and your family, please visit us at accountableequity.com.
Hey, it's Hal Elrod, author of The Miracle Morning, and you're listening to Capital Hacking. Enjoy.
Yeah. So I'm going to tell you this. The ones that do have the second chance appreciate the opportunity more than the people that have everything handed to them. So I really don't have problems with people that have a sketchier background, because I feel like they're grateful for the opportunity. They appreciate it. I feel like when people that have jobs offers handed to them left and right, they don't have a background, so they can get a job here, here, or here. Okay, I'll go work at the next place. The people like really, they really appreciate the opportunity, so they don't want to mess it up. But, it's pretty simple, right? And I learned this over the years. Like I used to be able to walk over me, right? Because my standards weren't set in stone. Our standards as a company wasn't set in stone. Now we have core values that we base our company off of. So if you violate these core values and you're not aligned with us and our vision, you got to go. And I really just hold a couple people accountable now, my leadership team, and they're holding the standards down. So I don't really get walked over and my guys are like super stern on these core values, because it's like, that's how we hire, that's how we fire, that's how we promote. So go ahead.
Teach us what they are. And did you learn that through the entrepreneur, like EOS? Did you learn that from that, or did you just come to
I always had a mission statement and core values, but it wasn't in depth like the way it should be. But when we just revamped and did our core values, it's hardworking, it's accountable, it's well-rounded, and it's professionalism. So these are all things that you might not be the most professional, right? We are in the trades. It's a lot of grimier and a lot of, hustle and bustle type of mentality, but you have to be able to work on it, right? That comes with being well-rounded. You might not know how to spackle when you're a painter, but we're going to strive to be well-rounded here. And I feel like a lot of core values are deeply embedded into me because like I didn't know how to edit when I started the podcast, but I learned. I didn't know how to do an estimate, right? I started everything like I was like a baby when I came home. And, it was just me striving to be well-rounded as possible. So that's just like one of the core values, professionalism when you're talking to customers, when you're talking to your coworker, when you're leaving someone's house, being accountable when you make mistakes. So this way you can get better. Those are just like hard work and everyone here, like we work our tail off, right? And we try to do it so the company elevates, but this way everyone else elevates too. So we're stronger together. So as long as everyone, knows those core values and every day they're getting spoken about and people are getting hired, fired, promoted by it, then that's really going to set up your culture.
And I love the growth that you've been able to do over the years and how you've been scaling, where I believe you just went from one warehouse to a much larger one, correct?
Yeah, we're working on getting one now. Like, under contractors, there's a couple contingencies. Yeah, we just outgrown the space that we were at. We can't operate efficiently out of it. It's good, and I'm grateful to, some people are working out of their garage or their basement still. But we're at the point to where we have to grow and our space is important. So yeah, that's one thing we're working on. That's one of the goals for 2026 to be able to scale.
And then another question comes to mind is, I think you had corrected me. I forgot the amount of employees you had, but how many employees do you currently have and what is your goal by the year end? Because it seems like you're busier and busier every time I see you.
Right now we have, I believe, 26 employees. The goal last year was just to grow within and not just hire people or buy more trucks. It was to grow within, like everyone gets stronger, everyone gets better, and develop more leadership etiquette in the company, because that's going to transcend when we do go on a hiring spree. The goal by the end of the year, we're still trying to be around, I think it's like 35, 40. But we're trying to branch off to have 2 locations and divvy up some of the employees.
And what's your favorite type of project to work on?
I like the easy ones. For me, where it's not a lot of detail involved. Kitchens and bathrooms are great. I love them. It looks beautiful. The transformation is beautiful, but it's a lot of what colors the caulk, what colors the grout, what kind of accent handles. So for me, I like repaints. I like flooring. I like wallpaper, like more simple stuff where it's going to change light fixtures. Like it's going to change the whole outlook of the house, but it's not going to be like the hassle and the headaches that come with a full remodel.
Yeah, that stuff goes a long way, man. It just totally changes the feel of a
Yes.
property. Okay, my last question before I throw it back to Josh, which we were talking before the show started. You got to tell us a little bit about that bobblehead right behind you.
I think Josh wanted to ask that. So the bobblehead right here, I got a Christmas present from the guys and gals at my company. It's me. I have like a picture on my Instagram. I'm in like a suit and all, and they just took the picture and look, they got the hand tattoos, the neck tattoos. So it's pretty creative. And I mean, not even the fact that they got me something, but something so thoughtful. It just shows like, people were saying that I'm showing the gift to it. It just shows a lot how they think about me. So it's very, heartfelt gifts. I like it, and it's creative too.
That was very creative. And I'm looking over your shoulder because you're a Philadelphia native like us.
Yes.
And you love the Philadelphia Eagles.
Yes.
And this year, AJ Brown was reading a book on the side of on the sideline, and you made a poster out of it, or somebody did, and it says "Read." Is that something else that's big in the company?
Hey guys, it's John Vroman, founder of Front Row Dads, and you're listening to Capital Hacking, the best investment you'll make today.
So for me, that's more of a personal thing. I try to encourage everyone to read or listen to audiobooks or podcasts just to expand their mind. But reading is how I got through prison. I've read a lot of books in prison. I still read to this day. I'm always picking up a book. More audiobooks now because I'm on the road a lot. I don't got the time to physically sit down and read it, although I still do. But I think since I'm an Eagles fan and read, I was in it was like a Second Chance store in Fishtown, and the lady had like a bunch of the posters. I said, yeah, let me get one and put that in my man cave.
I love it. Teach us real quick what books you would recommend to somebody right off the bat if you said, I want to help you, mentor you in some way, please start by reading these books if this will help you get your mind right. What books would you tell them to read first?
Give me a couple books that did it for me. Obviously, Rich Dad, Poor Dad. That's going to change your whole outlook on work and money. Think and Grow Rich, Napoleon Hill. That's basically believing in yourself and just giving you the confidence and the blueprint on achieving just goals in general. 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. That's great for communication, great for planning, great for optimism. I will say there's just so many good ones. Buy Your Time Back, Dan Martell. That's more like a little bit more advanced for people that are already getting it going. But I will say I'll leave you with How to Win Friends and Influence People. Dale Carnegie. Motherfucker.
I was about to chime in and say How to Win Friends and Influence People, because I know Josh and I both love that book.
That's probably my top 5 right there. If I need 5, I think.
Yeah, it's beautiful, buddy. Especially guys coming out of prison. I don't know, especially the audiobook style of Dale Carnegie's. Sorry for chiming in here. I know these are your books, but I just want to compliment you. Melanie likes it. Sometimes I'll take the kids on a long car ride and I'll put on Dale Carnegie, which is How to Win Friends, because it's a whole bunch of stories. Yeah. It's not like some documentation of like.
They have a revision. They have a book because we're living in a digital age now. So it ties in the internet and social media and podcasting and everything into the same concept that way he wrote the book at. And I'm like, everyone's living on the internet. I'm probably talking to more people through text messages than in person, right? So yeah, it's a great read. I should have named it probably sooner, but.
You're saying that there's a book out there where they added to Dale Carnegie's book and talked about how to text, how to social media. I didn't know.
Yes.
No, I've never heard that.
And it's called the digital age. How to win friends and influence people at the digital age. But it's by Dale Carnegie.
Look at his group. All right. Well, listen, Frank, big time blessing to our community here. Thank you for teaching me about the real estate, having a realtor come in and talk to my teammate using the golden ticket of a W-2 paycheck. Tell us, John, is it okay if I ask how can we reach out to you, Frank? Oh, before I let you do that, is your business retail consumers or investors? And do you spend a lot of time flipping houses still? And does your workers work on flipping houses? I just want to make sure I understand your whole business now. Is it for you and your own flip houses, or is it all consumers, or is it investors? Who's hiring you guys?
So a lot of homeowners are hiring us. We do work with GCs. We do work with builders. But I'll say 80%, maybe 85% is homeowners getting ready to list, getting ready to sell, getting ready to buy, and then also just refreshing. And a lot of it's homeowner based. And then for my projects, I do fix and flip, and I'm starting to get into more holding. I think I got 9 doors right now, 9 doors, and I'm getting into holding more right now for long-term wealth. But I still continue to do flips too. And I use my guys sometimes, but we're so busy, I can't always use them. So I'll use some subs and all. But I try to get my guys involved with overtime work, or if they just want to shadow me throughout the process so they can learn.
It's great, man.
Amazing. Shout out my own podcast, Streets to Success, which is we have people come on, and it isn't just about prison stories. It's about people that overcome different obstacles of life. That we had chiropractors on, we had a judge and the guy that he sentenced on at the same time. We had politicians on, city council on. We had people that were incarcerated did 20 years, people that were incarcerated into 2 years. It's a platform to highlight people that overcome adversities, and just to show people change is possible, and what you're going through, someone else might have went through or worse. So you can overcome. And, that's Streets to Success on all platforms.
Beautiful.
Love it. Love it. And Frank, how can our listeners follow up if they have questions or want to connect with you?
So it's Quite Frankly on Instagram, Quite_Frank_Lee. So that's my Instagram. Same on TikTok, YouTube, Streets to Success. I have a YouTube channel personally. It's not too big, but you can go on there, Quite Frankly. Also, I have a bunch of other podcasts I've done. Just look up Frank Benton or Frankly Benton. They're going to come up. But personally, I think the best way to reach out to me is Facebook Frankly, just Frankly on Facebook, and then Instagram, Quite Frankly.
I love all that. But did you say the name of your construction company? What's the name of your construction company?
We are Enhanced Property Appearance, Paint and Renovation. So the name says it all.
Great job today, brother.
I appreciate you guys. Thanks for having me,
Frank. Thank you so much.
Cheers. Yeah, I'm looking forward to connecting with you guys.
Damn straight.
We just got
buddy.
We got to the end of another great show. And everyone listening right now, you're the family and friends. Thanks for staying till the end.
That was so fun. And hey, hit the like, hit subscribe. We're here to serve you guys. That's why we're doing this show. Josh is not paying me. I'm doing this off of my quote unquote sweat equity because we want to make a difference in your life. And then that ripple effect will continue to touch the world.
Hey, amen, brother. Please check us out on capitalhacking.com, all the social media threads. And yes, I know you've probably already sent this episode to one of your best friends. Thank you. We love you. Just go right into your iPhone, hit the plus symbol. We'll talk to you later. See you next week.
Share.